For 15 years, I've been obsessed to find out what was going on inside of him. It's been my life work and my ultimate failure. This force, this thing that lived inside of him came from a source too violent, too deadly for you to imagine. It grew inside him, contaminating his soul. It was pure evil.
What makes you think he'll come back here?
This house is sacred to him. He has all his memories here. His rage. Mrs. Strode, I beg of you, don't let your family suffer the same fate that Laurie and her daughter suffered.
Jamie, I thought that...
She's been found outside Haddonfield. Stabbed.
What should I do?
I've written it all down for you, but you haven't a moment to lose. Mrs. Strode, Michael Myers has come back to Haddonfield to kill.
Hello there. My name is Blake Collier, and this is Fly By Films. I took a meat cleaver to Jamison's head, but he jumped out of the way. And then I went after him again, and he kept escaping from my grasp until he ran away, and now he's on Zoom, watching me make this voice. He hasn't started laughing yet. It'll happen, though. And then I'll get him. I'll get him right then. Was that spooky, Jamison? Was it? Was that spooky enough for you?
Yeah, that's pretty spooky, Blake.
Oh, okay. Well,
good job. Creepy
right.
child, Blake.
Well, I was going for like creepy child / creepy old woman.
Yeah, I would say you fluctuated between those two. You
Okay.
did a good job. Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely.
I have no voice control, so I can totally see it fluctuating.
Yeah. We should take a poll to the people who made it 3 minutes into the podcast, whether Blake was an old woman or a child.
And then if you guess right, I'll be right behind you with an axe. Because it's Halloween.
Oh yeah. Happy
Spooky
Halloween.
Season.
Woo! Happy Halloween, Blake.
Happy Halloween, Jamison.
12 days early. But
how's it feel to be... Well, it's not 12 days early. This is Halloween. Stop lying.
Yes. Yeah. This is Halloween.
Jeez. People these days.
We are frozen in time in the future on Halloween.
I mean, if I could be frozen on Halloween, I would be more than happy. Then it'd be spooky all year.
Yeah. Blake, what is your spooky name this season?
Well, I remember a time when I used to have spooky names. This was the what I call the decade in which I had Twitter. And around this time I would have had a new scary name. But I don't have social media anymore, so except for the Fly By Films podcast Twitter, which I save from all of my hottest takes. And so yeah, I haven't really thought much about a spooky name.
So you don't have one picked out just in case? You don't have like a backup spooky name?
No.
What What about Snake, Collie?
Well, that'd be funny. I'm trying to remember some of the old ones I used to use. Um, maybe they'll come to me during the podcast. I'll just shout them out randomly
Yeah, do that.
because I imagine if I can think of one good one, then that'll be my spooky name for the rest of my life.
I was going with Dr. Barspooky, but I realized my middle name is Blair, so I'm just going by Jamison Blair Witch now. So
Mmm. So real quick opinion. What was your take on Blair Witch Project?
the the original, or
I don't know. They're all the same to me.
yeah, um, I didn't. So I didn't watch the original for a while. I wasn't like allowed to when it came out. I was a little too young, and my parents were, kind of like. I mean, my dad a couple years later would show me The Exorcist when I was like 11 or 12. So I don't really know, what the big difference was. But yeah, I wasn't part of the cultural phenomenon of Blair
Yeah.
Witch.
I remember the cultural phenomenon, but I didn't go see it then. I probably saw it like a decade later.
I think I would have liked it better had I seen it in theaters.
Yeah. Gotten
Yeah.
wrapped up in the
Yeah,
cultural impact of it. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. I think horror movies benefit from that. I've
I think that's what happened to me with Paranormal Activity
mhm. Same,
because
same.
I've watched it since and it doesn't quite do it anymore.
I haven't gone back to it because I was freaked out by it,
Oh, I was
and
terrified by it.
and I don't want to realize that was stupid. Because in my mind it's actually like still kind of a good movie, but
Yeah.
I don't want to have that experience where like,
I would still say it's a decent movie. It just didn't
yeah,
quite have the you know, the gusto that it once had.
yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't say
I
it's
think,
bad. Yeah.
but I'll never be able to recreate seeing it with
No.
a giant crowd of people who
Yeah.
are all kind of getting freaked out by it at the same
I saw
time.
it at a midnight showing, and then I
Mm,
came home and didn't sleep till about 5 a.m.
nice.
because I was terrified.
Yeah. That's that's what we live for though, Blake.
Oh
That's
man, I tell you
that
what,
that's the high. And I haven't experienced that for a very long time with a
it's
horror movie.
it is quite literally the only movie that has ever done that to me.
Mm,
I don't get scared very easily. I'll get I'll get creeped out, but usually it goes away pretty quickly.
yeah. I was very afraid of demons when I was a
Yeah.
kid.
Hmm.
And I remember like I read like Frank Peretti books and stuff like that. And I was, I had all of these ideas of demons in my mind. So like The Exorcist did it for me when I was a kid. And also weirdly enough, like just the kind of the creep factor of Donnie Darko threw me off
Uh huh.
a lot. Because I didn't really know what was going on in that. And I couldn't wrap my mind around it. But like, yeah, I think once they kind of came out of that fear of demons stage, things haven't really hit the same. But then Paranormal Activity did.
Yeah.
I had a couple days where I was like, "Oof, that that's creepy." But yeah, since then there've been maybe a couple movies that have gotten my heart rate up, but it's very rare, very
Yeah.
rare. Yeah.
Same here. Same here.
Yeah.
So I got some kitties.
Yes, Blake, congratulations. You have rejoined the world of the cat dads.
Yep. Yep, my wife hates it when I say this, but my wife killed my last cat. And by killed, I mean she made me give it away. Well, she didn't really make me give it away. I was okay with it. She cried more than I did whenever it left. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, we have two ragdoll cats. We had to drive. Well, my wife had to drive to Indianapolis to get them. But
Wow.
they're good cats. So we'll take
Do
it.
you have names for these cats yet?
Yeah. So we've thought through a few. We're my wife came up with Uh-oh and Flannery,
Okay.
and then I came up with, I don't know. My wife mentioned some kind of literature tinge, so I was like, well, what's a duo name set of names? And I was like, oh, well, we could go with the Transcendentalists and maybe do Thoreau and Emerson.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of either one of them, but it
Yeah.
was it's a thing. So, um, and
Do
then I
they
was
feel
half.
like do they feel like Thoreau's and Emerson's?
No, no.
Hmm.
I think they're very much in the here and now, like in the immediate,
Yeah.
like. But I jokingly thought that we should name them Dip and Shit, but
Did your wife go for that?
no,
No.
no, no. I've always been one of those people that was. I used to like people who would name their cat Cat. That's the kind of person I am. So
Cat?
yeah, just Cat. Hey,
Just
Cat.
cat. Very literal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the cats don't care. Like I named my cat Nobody and it tore my mom up and she hated it.
Oh,
She
really?
refused to call her Nobody. Um, but like, so some people really hate that name. But you know what? My cat doesn't care. It's just
Exactly.
sounds. I mean, I do believe that cats know their names. At least they
Oh,
get
yeah.
used to those sounds. But
Well, the cats have names. We just refuse to use them.
what names did they come with?
Sawyer, which is fine. We don't have as big of
Hmm.
a problem with Sawyer. But Harmony.
Harmony?
Who names a cat Harmony?
Hmm.
I mean, that's some bullshit.
Yeah, I'm definitely not in that. That's kind of like Princess Cat territory.
Yeah.
Uh, that's not the game I play.
Yeah, I'm thinking through all the possible names. My wife was the one who mentioned literature, so I'm like racking my brain for some primo lit names. But
Well, I like Flannery. I
yeah, oh
mean,
yeah,
yeah.
Flannery is a great name. Um,
What
I'm
about
not completely sold on Uh-oh. I think it's kind of funny because it's my
yeah.
son's first words, but yeah. So yeah, we're still working it out. Currently, there are just uh, he and him, and her or she and her.
Mm,
That's pretty much how we call them.
okay. So one of them is a boy and one of them is a
Yes.
girl. Okay.
Yep. And they know each other intimately, if you know what I mean.
Ooh. Are they fixed or are you
Yep.
planning to?
They're
Okay.
fixed. Yep. Yep.
So
They
not
are.
not that intimately anymore.
No, no, but they once Sawyer once knew Harmony quite well.
Hmm.
So,
Um.
and he
Hmm.
likes them young.
Yeah.
So
Well.
he's got 3 years on her.
Oh wow. And that's cat years.
Yeah.
So that's a huge age gap.
Mm-hmm.
That's like some Leonardo DiCaprio shit.
Yeah, it is.
Oh man.
And we've just lost a whole set of listeners. Because how dare we make fun of the Leo?
Wait. No, I feel like that's low-hanging fruit. Like I feel like we're gonna lose listeners because that's such an obvious joke. Everyone's
Mm,
making that joke. So I don't think anyone's gonna be offended that we say Leonardo DiCaprio is a shitbag who treats women horribly, right? That's not gonna
no,
get us in trouble.
no. Unless
Okay.
he hears this and then sues us for slander.
Well,
But
he'll
have
have to
at it.
sue all of Twitter then.
Well, but also, like, what is he going to get from us? I mean, we're not rich.
He could have our podcast. If he wants
If he
Leonardo
wants it,
DiCaprio, here is a challenge. If you want our podcast, come and claim it.
yeah, it's going to be a
Just,
hefty penny.
yeah, you could just take it if you want it.
I mean, we want something in return,
Yeah.
like just
Just,
a thank
just,
you. I
yeah,
don't know.
talk to us like one of your French girls or something like that.
Yeah, or discard us like one of your 20-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly.
Use and abuse.
All right, Blake. We We're in spooky season.
Ah,
So, I did think up a spooky topic I wanted to talk to you about.
okay.
And it's actually fortunate because I rarely have dreams, but last night I had a nightmare.
What?
Yeah, and I remember it. And so I was
What?
like, "Oh, I got to talk about this on the podcast."
Okay, go for it. Hit
Um,
me.
well,
Describe it
okay.
with ample amount of description.
Okay. So, it's a nightmare. It's not going to be super spooky when I describe it, but I think it firmly fits into the body horror genre
Okay.
because it hits me at a terror where your body is kind of betraying you and becoming something that you don't want it to be. So just some context for the listeners who might be out there who don't know me, who have never seen me before. I have plenty of tattoos, right? So one of my arms is fully sleeved out, and it's taken some time to kind of work to that.
If you're a listener and you listen to the third episode in this series, you would know as I described Jamison as he froze on my computer screen. I described his sleeve artwork.
Yes, yes, you should all recall that
Yes.
from the third episode
Yeah.
in the series. So so the dream was I was at a bar and I was hanging out and I see a guy who has just some really cool tattoos, really cool artwork. And they actually they were Japanese traditional, which is something I like. One of my right sleeve is all Japanese traditional.
Mm-hmm.
There's seven samurai on it, kind of in reference to
Nice.
a movie. Um, and so, I pick it out and I go, oh, that looks really cool. I'm going to talk to this guy. So I go and talk to this guy, and he's showing me all his artwork on his arms, and he's really excited about it. And then I say, yeah, and I start talking about mine, and then I go to show him my arm, and all of the color is gone from my tattoos, and they all look terrible and they're gross, and it's just like being sapped away somehow, and it's not like anything I remember, and it just looks gross and dumb, and I'm starting to freak out. Like, I don't know where all of this went. Like, I don't know how it disappeared. And and I look dumb in front of this guy, and I'm like, I could tell he's like, yeah, okay, that looks fine. Yeah, okay. He does like this polite style. Anyway, so it's not like frightening. There's no jump scares or anything like that, and I'm not afraid for my life. but it had this sense of like betrayal of my body,
Yeah.
which I feel like body horror really gets at this fear of that. So
It's a keystone of it. Yeah.
yeah, so so that was my nightmare that I had last night that I remembered,
Nice.
and it doesn't really resolve. It just kind of like left me hanging there, and I don't know. Yeah.
So have you had any other nightmares in your life?
I have. I don't really remember my dreams that well, and
Gotcha.
I'm not good at journaling, so I don't have a dream journal. There are a couple that I wish I had. Um, I know I've been scared by dreams before, and I kind of wish that I'd written them down,
Hmm.
when they come about. Um, but yeah, I don't have any to talk about. But what about you?
Uh, so I used to have a recurring nightmare.
Ooh.
Yeah, from about I want to say probably I don't know, maybe 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there, till about I don't know, early 30s. I would get this one nightmare pretty fairly regularly, maybe 2 or 3 times a year.
That's quite a
Um,
range of time.
yeah, it stuck around a while. Like it would shift kind of, but I mean the basic narrative of the dream was always the same. Um, and it was basically me inside of a building, multiple floors, a lot of doors, none that would open, and an elevator that would go between floors. And so basically, I was just going around hallways, and I would go down to another hallway, and I couldn't ever go inside of any of the rooms. But I could always tell that someone was chasing me, and it was someone with a knife. And I seem to recall a few times I got a look at the face, and it reminded me of someone that looked like Willem Dafoe.
Hmm.
And yeah, I used to get
Famously
that
one of the most attractive
terrifying.
and warm faces in Hollywood, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's funny because now I kind of look at him and I'm like, it's actually kind of a comforting face.
Hmm.
But back in the day, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to get that one quite a bit. I don't know why. Never resolved in any kind of way. Like I would just go between floors and run around hallways while someone was vaguely chasing me. Um, I did have a couple of cases of sleep paralysis.
Ooh.
I This was actually in Tulsa when I first moved here, and I didn't have a job yet. I took. I'm not a big nap person, but around that time, I was taking more naps than normal, probably because I didn't have a job and I was basically just sitting around all day, and that's way more tiring than.
Yeah, it's
So
surprising how exhausting
yeah,
that is.
and so I remember I took a couple of naps. This happened within a couple week time period. Like the two times it happened were within a couple of weeks. And the first time I just literally had sleep paralysis where I couldn't move. Like I was awake, I was aware of the room, but I couldn't move. It was like middle of the afternoon. And then the second time it happened, same thing. Kind of, it might have been middle of the morning, something like that, or it might have been early afternoon. I don't really remember. But it was sunny outside because the sun was shining through the window, and I remember waking up, being aware, not being able to move, and I do recall a faceless, dark shape like fall down in front of my face.
Mm,
It's the only time it's happened,
that
but nothing will get your
sucks.
heart rate up like that.
Yeah, get your heart rate up, and also the ability to not be able to move.
Yeah.
Just, ugh. I've experienced sleep paralysis exactly once, and I didn't see any shadowy figures. I was in Turkey under a lot of stress at the
Yeah.
time, and it was clearly like that was the catalyst for it. But yeah, I
Stress around that time, so I totally understand it was probably driven by that. Now the dark shape thing, the second time around, that was a little weird, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
yeah.
It's not like I, spend the rest of my days, not being able to go to sleep because of it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Um, so I have a follow-up question to your nightmare. So
okay.
you basically like explained like you started getting it when you were 10 and then you stopped when you were like in your 30s or early
Yeah,
30s.
early 30s.
So do you like do you ever think like I wonder if it'll come back?
Oh, all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even when as I got older, the period between the times I had it like grew wider.
Hmm.
So I had it more often when I was younger.
Yeah.
And it got less and less as I got older. Um, like to the point where I'm not sure I could pinpoint exactly when it stopped or when the last time I had it was. It's been a while, but I still have a vivid memory of that dream because it happened so often. So
Wow.
I'd always wake up in a bit of a cold sweat each time. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Very surreal the way you
Yeah,
described it. Um, yeah. Very creepy.
maybe I've always felt trapped, and it
Well,
wasn't until I got married that I became untrapped.
hmm.
Does that make sense?
I wonder how that works.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a very nice compliment to your wife,
Yeah,
right? To
I think so
Melissa.
too. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the safest way out of this conversation, right?
Yeah, exactly. So slowly backing away now.
Yes.
So
Um,
you sent me an interesting article. Yesterday was it, or was it the day before
yes.
yesterday?
Yeah. Wait, before we get to the article, I feel like fears as kids actually ties into something I needed
Oh
to
yeah,
read. So a couple weeks ago, we posted a question
oh
about
yeah.
what scared you as a kid. I think this was attached to the very first uh, Bloody Mary episode we did. So we're
Yeah.
still in our Mary series. Um, and listener Nate P80 responded and talked about what scared him as a kid. So this is from Nate P80. Um, I had a babysitter that told me that some creature was outside my window. I don't remember the exact creature, other than I was terrified to ever look out my window for quite some time. So,
And then the second part of that was he went to see the movie Signs when he was a little bit older, and it reinvigorated that fear again.
wait, is
I'm
that?
just kidding. That
Oh,
wasn't part of it.
I was like, did I miss
I was
part of it?
adding that
I mean, possibly, possibly.
because that shit scared the crap out of me when I saw it. When he
We'll
looks
have
out the
to.
window and sees the alien on the roof.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Nope, not this guy. I was like, nope, I'm out.
So this actually does kind of bring up. Did anyone ever like lie to you as a kid and tell you something really creepy that stuck with you? I think, well, we went through how my dad told me about Luther Laserlip, so I think that
Yeah,
counts for me.
no, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. My parents were, generally speaking, for the most part, truth tellers. And Halloween wasn't a huge thing in our family.
Mm.
So I think that's why everyone finds it funny that I'm such a horror fanatic, and such a fan of Halloween. Yeah, but I don't have a strong memory of my parents telling me a story or something. Like my parents would read like old school ghost stories to me occasionally, but nothing that really stuck. Um, yeah, I had a pretty mundane childhood for the most part,
Okay. Have you
unfortunately.
have you then in turn started lying to children about scary things?
Not yet, but I may or may not plan on teaching my child about Krampus.
Mmm, that's fun.
Not in the like, the moralistic way where it's like, if you better be a good boy, otherwise Krampus is gonna come and snatch you up. Not that kind of thing. More just like, no, there are creatures out there, and one of them happens to be named Krampus. And he is old Saint Nick's shadow. And he is a bad, bad beast. So
I
watch
love that.
yourself.
I love that because it's like it's not like, hey, you have control over Krampus with how you act.
Yeah.
Instead, it's like they're bad creatures that do bad things, and
Uh-huh.
you can't control them. Sorry,
Yeah.
kid.
Oh,
Ah,
I've told numerous people I'm going to be that dad that is like full bore. If my kid comes to me and says there's a monster in his closet, motherfucker, I am going to check that damn closet.
yeah, nice.
I'll get my shotgun down. I don't care.
You're gonna say yes, there probably is, and we're gonna find it.
Yes, exactly. You
Yeah,
show me exactly where you found it. Where did it come out?
yeah,
Under your bed? Okay. Stand back.
nice, nice. So yeah, I sent you an article yesterday or a couple days ago um, that kind of ties into the movie that we're going to be talking about too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, but but yeah, so this article was kind of a creepy take on the gospel of Jesus. Um, so the idea was, I guess, in 2013, they found these ancient Egyptian texts that explained that some people thought Jesus was a shapeshifter.
Mm.
So, and shapeshifters are very creepy creatures.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
things like changelings and animorphs and stuff like that. Um,
Then you got the Native American spirits like the
ooh,
Skinwalker and the
yeah,
Wendigo. Yeah.
yeah. So, so there wasn't a ton to the article. I think uh, most like New Testament scholars generally don't buy this theory, but
Mm-hmm.
the one kind of takeaway or the one like big sign of evidence was that this is an explanation for Judas's betrayal. So if you're familiar with Judas's betrayal, it's kind of this weird story where Judas kind of agrees to lead the high priests to Jesus and betray him, but all
Mm-hmm.
he does is he like kisses Jesus to show who Jesus is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of confusing because the whole time you read the story up to that point, Jesus is out and about in the crowd and just showing himself and talking constantly. So it's not like anyone needed to know who Jesus was. And so it seems kind of strange that like it would be framed as a betrayal that someone would go and point Jesus out. Like
Yeah.
that, it doesn't seem like Judas is doing any work in that
Yeah.
exchange, right?
Yeah. That's a simple 30 pieces of silver or whatever it is.
Yeah. But then the idea is that like, okay, Jesus had secrets and kind of revealed them to the disciples, I guess. And so the disciples knew how to identify him, but he could change his form and sneak about, which he was able to sneak out of crowds.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't say that there aren't instances where other pieces of the gospel that also kind of point towards this. But
Well, if you're one of the lucky few who believes in the Gospels, then I mean, he already is technically a shapeshifter. I mean, he's divine, becoming man. Seems like some shape shifting to me.
yeah, I guess the whole idea of the Trinity, right, is
Yeah.
is very shape shifty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, so
Maybe we should just drop the shape and just say it's shifty.
shifty, shifty old Jesus, shifty old Christ.
we uh we make jokes because Halloween is the time where the religious dress up and mock the damned, the demons,
Hmm.
the evil spirits that go spook in the night.
Yes.
Is that why we still do it, Jamison? Or is it pretty
Yeah.
much just consumed by capitalism now?
I mean, I'm gonna dress up like Mario this year, so I don't really feel like I'm gonna be doing any mocking of evil spirits.
Well, depends on who you talk to.
That's
I
true.
mean,
That's true. A lot of
I'm
people.
a I'm dressing up as a trash can. My son is gonna be a trash panda.
That is amazing. I love it. Um, please share pictures. Yeah, so
oh,
I'm gonna be
oh, it will.
I'm gonna be Mario, and Kira is gonna dress up the lemon bump as. Oh, by the way, for any of you listeners who might not know me, we're calling our kid as a working title Lemon because we're not explaining the names. We actually don't know whether it's a boy or a girl, so we have two names picked out just in case for either one. But as a working title, we're calling it Lemon. So she's gonna dress Lemon up as a chain chomp, so
Nice.
from the Super Mario world, and I'm gonna be Mario, and she's gonna be, I guess, Chain Chomp's uh, body or something like
That's
that.
hilarious.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
Yeah, I like Jameson and Kira are being super secretive because he hasn't even told me the names.
We haven't told
They're keeping them
anyone.
secret. They're
Yeah,
keeping some real shifty shit going on over there.
yeah. But uh, it'd be fun. We should make that our podcast guess, or I mean, our podcast question is what. Does anyone have any guesses on what the baby names are?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So listeners, write to us. We'll see if you get it right.
Okay, I can make that the question.
Yeah.
And Nate P80 will be the only one who says anything.
There are other listeners. We could. They could guess,
They could
and
guess, but would
we'll
they get
read.
anything for being close? I'm sure we could figure
Well,
something out.
yeah, we'll give them a shout out if they're close. And if they're not close at all, we will shame them on air.
Yes, I
So,
think that's great. It's like a punishment for getting it wrong, but blessings for getting it close to right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like old school. I like it. Yeah.
All right. So we are almost 40 minutes 40 minutes in, and we haven't even talked about the movie that we're going to talk about. So, okay. I'll do you mind if I set it up?
Yes, please.
Cuz
This is the one you foisted upon me.
I sprung this upon you and I said, "Oh, I think this will fit with our theme." And I'm sure I
Technically,
can.
it does.
Okay, good. I'm glad
Yeah.
you at least felt that way about it because
Yeah.
I watched it and I was like, okay, I feel like it goes with our theme. So the movie we watched, just to remind everyone, our theme is Bloody Mary. So we looked into the Bloody Mary myth and we watched a bunch of the Candyman movies and we watched Urban Legend Bloody Mary. And the most recent movie, or the last movie in kind of our series that we watched, is something called We're All Going to the World's Fair. And this movie came out this year, so it's the most recent movie that we've watched on this podcast.
Yep.
Um, and it kind of is an evolution of a Bloody Mary type of story, where it's about an internet game or internet kind of like a creepy pasta, if you will, or some sort of story that's gone viral about something called the World's Fair, and people are taking the World's Fair challenge,
Mm-hmm.
and how that works is um, you sit in front of your computer and you say, "I want to go to the World's Fair 3 times." So you have that. So instead of a mirror, you watch your computer, and
I have a
then
theory about that, but
okay,
keep going.
yeah, no, I want to get into these. Then there's a blood sacrifice actually of
Mm-hmm.
sorts that you have to do.
Which the
And
way she does it is super painful.
oh my god, yes. That was that's one of the most uncomfortable scenes in
Yeah.
the movie. Um and then you watch a video. So you learn you I feel like the opening scene is actually really effective in how it kind of teaches you these rules, because it starts with this, very awkward teenage girl who is trying to kind of have some sort of internet presence, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a really cringy TikTok video where she goes through this challenge, and so you kind of experience the rules of it and then also kind of get to know this character a little bit at the same time. So I actually it after I watched that opening scene the first time, I was immediately drawn in. And we can talk
Mm-hmm.
about like how the movie goes, here or there. But one thing we didn't do is, should I read the Wikipedia?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I think it's really short. So we already basically talked about the movie, but We're All Going to the World's Fair is a 2021 American coming of age horror drama film, directed, written, and edited by Jane Schoenbrunn. The film stars Anna
That was
Cobb.
primo, by the way.
Oh, thank you. The film stars Anna Cobb in her debut role, and Michael J. Rogers, David Lowery, who's Blake's favorite director, served as an executive producer.
I didn't even notice that.
Well, I didn't notice it until last night, and I was like, "Oh, this is fun."
Yeah, I actually don't. I don't mind him compared to some. So
Okay,
yeah. I mean,
I
The Old Man
just
and the Gun is a great film.
I just remember you were not a fan of A Ghost Story, right?
No.
I think I think you and
No.
I that's like one of the movies where we differ on. I'm
Yeah.
actually really taken with that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think it's a piece of trash.
I don't. We could
But
that would
everything else
actually
he's done,
yeah.
I have no problem with it. So,
Yeah. He most recently did the Green Knight,
which
which
I still haven't seen.
I think is fantastic. I think you'll
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
I think that's a much better movie than a ghost story, but there is something about a ghost story that still like kind of resonates with me, but
Hmm.
that's not the movie we're talking about. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've set up the movie. We've talked about
Hmm.
it. Blake, what
Are
did
you
you think of the movie?
terrified?
What did you think of the
You look
movie?
like you're terrified.
I'm not terrified.
So we have not talked about what I've thought about this movie. I
Yeah,
know he
I
likes it, but I get this sense that he's got like just like trembling lips and fear that I'm gonna like go off on
we haven't talked about this fear yet, but this is perfect. I am actually no, I hate that feeling when you put your heart on your sleeve for your friends about a movie and then you show it to them and
and
then
they're like,
you're constantly like what do you think, what do you think in your mind, but you
yeah,
can't do that, you can't like pester them, right?
mm-hmm,
But yeah, no, it is terrifying. i i I don't feel quite terrified in this, but there is a sense where we didn't talk about it. I told you I liked this movie and I made you watch it,
yeah.
and we
I even
haven't
bought
talked
it.
about it. You even bought it.
Well, I
Uh,
buy all the movies that
yeah,
we do on this podcast. I mean, I
yeah.
had to. I bought Urban Legend Bloody Mary, which I'll never watch again, and the two Candyman movies, which I'll never watch again.
Yeah, they're trophies.
Well, take that back. If I get really drunk one night, I might watch one or two of them again. But
Okay.
uh, so to ease your anxieties, I liked it. I'm not going to say I loved it, but I liked it. I liked what it was going for, probably more than the execution. Now that being said, I think there's some pretty effective scenes in the movie, and I think the hard part for me is trying to delineate what works and what doesn't for me, because it's a very odd little film. Um,
Yeah.
because it's kind of broken up between this awkward teenager and then this recluse older man who gets in contact with her because says that she's in danger for doing the World's Fair challenge, but you never actually get the feeling that she is in danger, except for maybe like this vague existential threat of like her taking her own life or the life of her dad, which is a little harrowing,
Hmm.
admittedly. And then you have these like weird flashes of videos that they both watch in between these segments, and I think perhaps the little videos are more terrifying than anything that actually happens in the story.
Yeah, yeah. I actually feel like I agree with that. I wish the movie would have gone like it maintains pretty firmly on the realism side of the magical realism spectrum.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
feel like especially like as you get towards the end, you kind of like okay, this is where it's going to land. And I almost wish it had, scooted the line
yeah,
a lot more. At
and you get
least.
the sense that the the coming of age and drama parts of the description were more important to the filmmaker
Mhm.
than the horror was. Uh, the horror was dress setting.
Yes. Yeah,
um,
yeah. And I do feel like we should mention this, and I think this is in my mind kind of where the shape shifting element of the
Mm-hmm.
movie kind of comes in, and why I thought that article about Jesus might be kind of interesting is the director is trans, and
Okay.
this movie they've gone on record as saying they wanted she wanted to make a movie that was uh, authentic to her experience, kind of as an awkward trans kid. And I don't know
Okay.
if the main character is trans in the movie. I don't know if you're
Yeah.
supposed to like know that or get that feeling.
I
But
didn't get that feeling, but
yeah, I
now there
didn't.
were certain characters in the videos that I thought might have been, or at
Yeah,
least been some representation of it.
yeah. But I think I think the shape shifting element of
Mm-hmm.
this whole thing kind of plays into that. But yeah, ultimately, like I think the horror comes from the drama,
Yeah.
of these characters and kind of the internal turmoil that these characters are feeling
Mm-hmm.
rather than actual,
Yeah.
manifestations of horror. But
This is a bit of a cheap criticism, but I'm gonna go ahead and use it anyways. Um, I don't like it when movies introduce potential theories and then brush them aside.
mm,
So, like the strange loop theory, I believe is what they call it. Like
yeah,
she mentions it to the older guy, and he just starts talking about something else. And I'm like, this reeks to me of you didn't actually think it through, and so you didn't want to put it out there because you thought you would just get a bunch of people who said it was stupid, which I get it. It's super easy to create a theory that's stupid. Several people do it. But give me something.
yeah,
Otherwise, don't
yeah.
put it in there.
It
Yeah.
it it does feel a little hollow, and and you see this like strange loop theory kind of floating around,
Mm-hmm.
and it piques your interest, and it does feel like that was maybe a missed opportunity for world building um,
Yeah.
in this game that they didn't really, that they give lip service to, but doesn't have a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot of like meat to it. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but to go to my theory about her speaking, I'm going to the World's Fair 3 times into the computer. Um, you can make a case that most of the time people speak that into a mirror, which is
Hmm.
reflecting yourself. But I would say that actually speaking those kinds of things into a computer screen is more terrifying because you're speaking it into the void.
Yeah.
It's not. It is both reflection of you and not reflection of you, uh, and so it can speak back.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're all kind of familiar with the algorithm too, and how
Yeah.
that, supposedly kind of eats your soul in a way and
Mm-hmm.
regurgitates something back to you. So I mean, it is almost like a mirror, but it's a
Yeah.
different type of mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And part of me wonders, and they need to do a little bit more work on this, but I something just came to my head with the strange loop theory idea is they very prominently show the circle that is the loading of the video,
Hmm.
and I wonder if that's tied into the strange loop theory. Is that it's actually the streaming aspect of constant content or streaming that is basically the thing that it's what propagates
Mm,
the the anxiety or the evil or whatever you want to call it.
that's interesting. There is so when I hear strange loop, there is one person that kind of comes to mind. Are you familiar with Douglas Hofstadter?
Name sounds strangely familiar, so maybe I've run across him.
He is a computer scientist slash cognitive theorist who wrote a famous book called Gödel, Escher, Bach.
Maybe that's where I've heard of the name, because that name sounds really familiar
Yeah,
to me.
yeah. Gödel, Escher, Bach, An Eternal Golden Braid. Um, it's this tome that is like about uh, Kurt Gödel, uh, Escher, the artist, and Johann Sebastian Bach, and it talks about how they use kind of recursion in their work,
Mm-hmm.
and it talks about it's basically like a narrative about how you get computers, how you get computers from recursion and recursive ideas. It's really a fascinating book. It's good. It's a hard read, um, but it's really good. He wrote a book kind of, so that was in like the late 70s, early 80s when he wrote that. He wrote another book in the 90s called I Am a Strange Loop. And I don't know anything about that, but
Mm-hmm.
that's what I think of. And so maybe, you know, maybe that's kind of related to this idea of a strange loop that the movie is talking about. But I don't know.
Kind of makes me want to look that up, see
Yeah.
if I can make any connections between what it's about and the movie.
Yeah, it's possible. I remember like thinking about that and then kind of brushing it off, but the more you're talking about computers and computer screens kind of being the mirrors,
Mm-hmm.
the more I'm wondering if there is like if that's kind of an intentional nod.
Yeah,
Cool. Yeah.
yeah. No, I mean, I thought it was a perfectly good debut film.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that there was a lot there to kind of um, work with and kind of move on from there.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see what does does she go as a she or as a him?
Yeah.
She, okay.
So Jane, I,
Schönbrunn,
yeah,
Schönbrunn.
Sean Brun.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I'd pronounce it multiple different ways. But yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting to see her kind of work um, the next things that she does.
When
So
you do kind of get a sense of the main character not drastically changing shape, but personality wise
hmm
changing shape. Especially the image that comes to my mind most clearly is when she sings the song on one of the videos.
yeah,
It's so incredibly awkward, like cringe awkward.
yes,
Whenever that happens, but it does speak to. I mean, especially if you kind of put it next to the first time we see her in the opening of the movie. It's night and day. Like
yeah,
I never would have expected to see that girl do that, and
yeah,
so um, there is some shape shifting going on there.
yeah, and that is an interesting scene. I think that's one of the good
Mm-hmm.
like great scenes in the movie because she sings the song and it's so weird and it goes on
Mm-hmm.
for an unreasonable amount of time
Yeah.
and you're like you're at some point you're hoping that the scene just cuts away to get to relieve you of this awkwardness that you're feeling for
Mm-hmm.
this girl and then right before like it ends, she just lets out this blood curdling scream and
Yeah.
stops what she's doing and just screams. And then stops screaming and picks up back where she was, doing her
Mm-hmm.
dancing, and
Yeah.
it's really strange, and very effective. It's almost like she is doing the shape shifting and kind of has this like out of body experience where she
Mm-hmm.
sees that about her, and uh, and and screams.
When it's, I mean, did you have a like premierly scary scene, like the one that sticks in your mind, or is it
Uh,
that scene?
I don't think that was the scene that scared me the most. I think the opening scene to me is like the scariest, because you're like, again, like there's these really long kind of drawn out moments where you're just staring at this person being really strange,
Mm-hmm.
but there's like, so you're watching her take this World's Fair challenge, and you're watching her from the vantage point of the computer screen. And so she's staring at the computer screen, and the computer screen is reflecting off her. And
Yeah.
it's this very almost psychedelic um, effect where it's just flashing all these lights. And because it's this psychedelic effect, like things around the room as you focus in kind of start kind of changing and shifting, just
Mm-hmm.
just from your perspective. Nothing is actually changing, but I thought that was probably the most unsettling scene for
And once
me.
again, it goes on like a beat or two too long. Like
Yeah,
not in a bad way, but just in a like it feels like this should have stopped already. Like, but
it,
it's that's forcing you to like concentrate on it.
yeah. You want it to end because you want to be relieved of this thing, that
Mm-hmm.
like this uncomfortable feeling, but you're meant to feel that. Like
Yeah.
that's what the filmmaker is trying to
Yeah.
push you towards. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very effective opening scene, but it's not the one that I think of when I think of scares.
Hmm.
Um, I the only scene in the whole movie that I found to be absolutely creepy is the her in the bed,
Mm.
and he is fast forwarding through her recording her sleep, and he gets all the way to like 4 a.m. or something like that, and she always sleeps with a lamp on because she says numerous times in the movie like was always afraid of the dark as a kid, so she'd always sleep with a lamp on. um, but you see her and she's in bed, and the guy that she talks to is forcing the streaming bar across to where it's he says like 4:30 a.m., and you see her face lit up in the light, and her hand like she's under the covers, and you see her hand slowly slip down the side of the bed,
Hmm.
and then you see her like face drop down beneath the lamp, and she's got this smile on her face, and she stops, and she's just smiling.
Hmm.
S- Still just smiling, just massive
Yeah.
grin on her face underneath this light, and it's terrifying.
Yes. Yeah. And I feel like that's the moment where that's like the closest the movie gets to kind of a supernatural,
Mm-hmm.
beyond the pale horror, like.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point I feel like you're still kind of wondering, like, is this going to turn more towards that?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the tipping point where it starts to kind of pull back after that scene.
Mm-hmm.
um you know but yeah, that scene is also very effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a. I mean, there was enough going on in the story for me to stay interested and to kind of stay within the world of the story. Um, I was not at all sad that I watched it. I thought it
Yeah.
was a pretty fascinating little of a
Yeah,
flick.
and it's quick too.
Yeah, it's
So
super quick. It's like
that's
82 minutes.
yeah. I think I think that's like one of the high points about it is that it's not a big commitment, and it doesn't feel like, even though there are scenes that overstay their welcome in
Yeah,
those senses, it doesn't feel like the movie as a whole overstays its welcome.
yeah.
And I actually think it has a really great soundtrack.
Oh, the soundtrack
So
is awesome. Yeah,
the artist Alex G
yep.
is the person who does it, and it's just really like down-tuned, uh,
Shoegazy.
shoegazy, like third wave, grunge, fourth wave emo
Kind of,
stuff.
kind of reminded me of a female vocal version of Car Seat Headrest.
Yeah,
At least the early stuff, not so much the later stuff. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It reminded me. It felt a lot like, there's this band I like called Planning for Burial, or Planning for Your Burial, or something like that.
yeah.
That's just like a sounds exactly like that. Sounds like winter has gone on too long, Pennsylvania. And I think this movie kind of takes place in like kind of a Western New York, so essentially kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
So
I did appreciate the barren wasteland of small town
yeah,
scene setting.
small town America, just like gross piles of snow.
Empty stores.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like empty Best Buys,
yeah.
all that. Yeah. So
Highways running through dead grass. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. They definitely had it in a place. That
yeah,
was definitely a choice.
absolutely, absolutely. I thought it did well with the place.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was a. I think that was a hell of a Halloween pick, Jamison.
Oh, thank you,
Very
Blake.
nicely done. Would
Yeah.
I have ever picked it for Halloween? Probably not. But I'm glad you did.
Well, I'm I'm just glad it fit with the Bloody Mary theme, and
Hmm.
I do feel like it brings in the internet into the Bloody Mary
Yeah.
conversation, and I think that's something that wasn't apparent in some of the earlier movies we were watching, because they didn't have creepy pastas at that point.
Hmm.
There were no spooky spaghettis. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's speaking of internet and how it propagates and whatnot. I feel like that's a good entry point for later conversation. Maybe we'll do some Pontypool at some point.
Ooh. I also watched Pontypool again this week. So,
So you told me that, and it made me want to watch it again.
yeah.
So there's a high likelihood I'm gonna watch it this weekend.
Pontypool is a movie that does not get its due. I
No,
I I
which
feel
is
like,
perfect fodder for this show.
oh my God. We need like a whole like three shows for Pontypool.
Oh
Just to
gosh, just to handle all the stuff that we could talk about it.
It's so good. It's so good, Blake. That I watch it every year. It's not even my favorite horror movie, but I still think it's a perfect film. Like I it's just so masterfully done. And I get sad just thinking about the fact that like it's not on any streaming service right now. Like no one can easily
Hmm.
watch it.
Yeah,
Um and no one kind of remembers it, and it's just going to kind of be forgotten. But, you know,
that's real sad.
maybe we can petition for like a Criterion release of it, and people will start paying attention.
They, I mean, I would be down for that. Sadly, I could see someone like Arrow or Scream Factory doing it before Criterion did.
Yeah.
Which would be fine with me. I like them both, but man, they keep teasing the idea that there's going to be a sequel.
Well, they did. They did make a sequel,
Dreamland. Never
quote.
saw
Yeah,
it.
I didn't watch it either. I will probably get around to it, but yeah,
Yeah, eventually.
it has nothing to do with anything.
But I at one point they were teasing that it was going to be a trilogy, and that basically each movie was going to add another word to the title of the book. So the second movie was going to be called Pontypool Changes, and
Okay.
then the final movie was going to be Pontypool Changes Everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Which could be good, also could be terrible.
Well, yeah, I find myself when I think about the book, which I didn't read, I listened to the audiobook version of.
It's a weird ass book.
Yeah, I think good and terrible together are
Yeah.
definitely feelings I have
Yes.
towards the book
Yeah.
Pontypool. Yeah, if you're new to the Pontypool universe, start with the movie.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
please. The movie is great, and it's a perfect, perfect. I feel like it perfectly encapsulates the ideas that the book is trying to do in a much cleaner format. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if you're into messy things and you want to subject yourself to that, the book is, yeah, go for it.
The
I'm
book's
not,
wild.
yeah,
I would still say it's one of the scariest books I've ever read,
yeah,
but it's because it's so weird.
yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah. He's wild in general. I've read a lot of his stuff. So,
What's his name again?
Tony Burgess.
Tony Burgess, yeah. Did you
Mm-hmm.
ever read, doesn't he have a book? I just remember reading like the synopsis of this and laughing. It's called The End Body Problem, and it's about
Yeah, so, Yeah,
how we have this,
they have the zombie apocalypse and they have to like shoot him into space, but then
yeah,
it blocks out the sun and
yeah, they
like
like form a planet, right,
yeah.
of bodies. Yeah,
Yeah.
that just makes me laugh. Um,
I mean, all this stuff. He even his most recent novel, I think it's his most recent, is a young adult novel called
hmm,
Idaho Winter, and
hmm,
it's hilarious.
okay.
I I I adore it. It's weird as hell, but it's the kind of young adult like YA book I want my kid to read whenever he gets old enough.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything less than the weirdest ass bullshit and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's wild. He
yeah.
matter of fact, so wild that I think we should get him on the show.
Do you think we could do that, Blake?
Oh, I think anything is possible.
Do you think we could? Do you think he would talk Pontypool with us? Because he wrote Pontypool. No.
He wrote the book and the screenplay.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
meant. Is yeah.
and the BBC radio play.
I didn't know there was a radio play.
So did you know that the original movie was just supposed to be the radio waves, the whole movie?
Well, okay, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
I didn't know that it was going to just be that.
that was
But
like an
like
early version.
that's cool. When I explain it to people, I tell them it's it has like a War of the Worlds vibe
Yeah,
where you're experiencing the thing happening out there just through this kind of central place where it's all being kind of filtered in, um, and it's so effective in being you know a single location movie,
yeah.
like, and I almost feel like they should have the uh radio wave
Yeah.
cut. That would
Mm-hmm.
be cool.
I mean, I would buy it.
I
I'd buy
would
a
buy it.
physical copy of that.
Yeah.
I like
mean,
how we how we started the conversation talking about one movie, and now we're just like lamenting the fact that we can't talk more about Pontypool.
yeah. I mean, I was gonna ask before we left, like, are there movies that you watch every spooky season? Um, I
Oh
think
yeah,
I think
yeah.
Pontypool is like one of them for me, and
I
then
mean,
like
I always watch Halloween, the original Halloween,
okay,
always, always, always. Um, I usually try to watch The Thing as well.
hmm
So
I
big
need I need
Carpenter,
I need to
some of that
rewatch The
big
Thing.
Carpenter energy.
Yeah, BCE.
Um, yeah, that's like the last few years. That's all I've been able to like. Really, the last couple of years, I've only been able to get Halloween watched. Um, but yeah, it's. I mean, the thing is, I mean, going on a few years, probably my favorite movie, my favorite
Mm,
horror movie. The my favorite horror movie is such a hard category for me.
sure.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know overall favorite horror movie, but like favorite horror movie in the past 10 years for me is The Wailing.
oh
And
yes,
and
yes, please.
I watch The Wailing every year, and I try to force everyone around me to watch The Wailing.
Oh man, you
So,
know what that means? If we
what?
ever do get the chance to record an episode in person, it's got to be The Wailing.
Yes. We will do that. And I don't know. I'll I'll come. So I have family in Oklahoma. I always
Oklahoma
tell
City,
Blake,
right?
yeah, I always tell Blake this. So eventually, I will, like, my grandparents live in Oklahoma City. So eventually, I will make it out to Oklahoma City. Right now, we're about to have a baby. Probably a little bit of time before the baby is like ready to do a big drive or a flight,
Yeah.
But if we make it out to Oklahoma City, we'll have to plan some sort of in-person
Mm-hmm.
podcast. We'll make it work. So, and
Damn
likewise,
right.
if you find yourself in California, you have a
Mm-hmm.
place to stay here in Chico.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is that all we had to say for this spooky season?
I think so. I think, yeah. So this is your I hope you guys do a lot of tricking, and this is your treat. That yeah,
Ooh. This is your treat for tricking.
yeah.
Turning tricks, as they say.
They're illusions, Dad. Tricks are what horrors do
For
for
money
money.
and candy.
Yeah. Sorry,
Arrested Development. It had to be done.
had to be done. All right. Yeah. So I hope you all have a good rest of your spooky season. This is Halloween right now. I hope you're
Mm-hmm.
getting your creep on. Listen to some Radiohead. You know.
I'm even going to get this out Halloween morning. That way you
Ah,
have all day to experience it.
yeah, yeah. Look, you could be
You
creeped
can put it
out.
on replay. Just listen to it all day.
I can't think of a worse fate. It's perfect.
Well, I hope you have a stabby Halloween, everyone.
Uh,
Ee-oh, ee-oh, ee-oh,
Blake, it looks like you're masturbating to a knife.
ee-oh. Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying that my length is that good.
Oh, okay. All right, we gotta quit now. Stop. Bye.
Bye.